What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Snowcast Sports Talk Podcast, episode 57. Joined here by my brother, Matt. Matt, how we doing today?
Uh, Doing okay. I went in thinking I was gonna do a different episode, but now we're talking about a lot of Giants stuff and
We are.
Daniel Jones topics. So I don't know 100% what we're talking about today, but I guess I'm excited to hear it because it is getting a little spicy.
I have this thing. I love to keep my co-hosts in the dark. I did this to Josh a lot. I do this to guests when I have them on. I won't tell them what we're talking about, just so I can get some great reactions to begin with. But
It's awful, everybody. No.
in Matthew's defense, we did change the topic right when we got into the call. We are going to do, we have a ton of ideas. We have quarterback carousel, like a really deep dive. We have a versus episode where will be me and Matt comparing the Giants and the Patriots, because Matthew is, of course, a Patriots fan. Shout out to his girlfriend, Claire. You can see the new logo for him over there. So shout out to Claire. Very much appreciate it. But yes, this Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley free agency, the period craziness has Giants fans going absolutely wild. And so I'm not going to lie, Matthew, I think an outsider's perspective is something that would be really interesting to hear. And so I kind of wanted to walk you through the situation with some updates from my last episode where I said a couple things that now we've gotten more information. And so maybe we can dive into it a little bit, and you can maybe let me know what an outsider's perspective is on Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and what the New York Giants should do here going into the 2023 season.
No, totally. And in all honesty, this actually is a very interesting topic.
It really is.
Watching your last video, I was like, oh, wow, I did not realize all of this was going down right now. And especially the talks with DJ. It's anyone's guess right now, I feel like. Well, I don't know the new information you're about to say. So.
Yeah, so let's start with this. If you were the Giants, what would be a bigger priority to you going into next year? When Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are both free agents, who would you want to get signed first, and who do you think is more pivotal to your team's success in the future?
I think Daniel Jones.
What's the reasoning?
It's tough. It's just tough because you do look at Daniel Jones' first 3 years, and it's not great. But everything that was going on with the coaching staff was also just awful. That really affected that play. Or his play. So yep. I'm sure this year was a real telling sign of his actual skill set because he played with all he got. Barkley just get hurt so much. I said that's so weird.
That's okay.
Saquon Barkley's just always getting hurt. I remember I picked him up last year in fantasy, and he just got hurt and never got points and was awful. You don't know if you're going to get that year out of Saquon Barkley or not. And also, I think against the Vikings, I think you made a comment. Didn't Daniel Jones rushed for more yards than Saquon Barkley did, or am I?
I think Saquon rushed for more yards, but I think the more significant number was the rushing attempts. I think Daniel Jones had more rushing attempts. I think Saquon only carried the ball 9 times.
Right, that was it. I had a weird feeling. It felt weird saying that Saquon Barkley rushed
for less yards. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think that's right, but it was something like that.
No, but it was definitely telling, and I agree with you. But let me tell you, that is not the sentiment by a lot of Giants fans. And the first part is with Daniel Jones is last year his ceiling or his floor? Is that the best we're ever going to see from him, or is that just the beginning of what's to come? And I think it's very fair to say, and I've always said this, that's the beginning of what's to come. You get a couple more weapons around him, an improved offensive line with the same coaching staff from quarterback coach up to head coach in the same offense. I don't know how he doesn't get better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. And in all honesty, I started stuttering a little bit because I feel like I started thinking about that. I was like, wait a minute, what if Daniel Jones just never shows back up like he did this year?
Who knows?
What if next year it just starts back up and it's DJ from his second year or third year, and it's not great.
And so, it's very rare that a team, their 2 pivotal pieces on offense are both free agents at the same time. And so that's what's interesting about this Giants situation is, wow, this is not something people usually see, and it happened because Saquon Barkley went through his 5th year, and the Giants didn't pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option. So because of that, Daniel's 4th year was the end of his contract, and now Saquon, his contract. What's even more interesting is they're both first-round picks, so the Giants can use franchise tags, which basically mean, hey, we don't want to pay you. We're going to give you the league average, and you can't leave. So, for example, like a running back's tag is about $10 million. A quarterback's tag is about $32 million. That's the average of all quarterbacks put together and then divided by the 32. And it's only for 1 year, and it's fully guaranteed. So, for example, that's what the Ravens have been doing to Lamar Jackson for the past, 4 years. Is they keep just giving him 1 year fully guaranteed. And it's getting expensive. I think this year the tag for him is $48 million. But besides the point, the first question always is, who's more important? Who do you want to sign? Do you want to sign Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley? And I think your points were good. Saquon has an injury history. So does Daniel Jones, but Saquon's is much more severe. And the quarterback is just a more important position.
Yeah, and not to mention, Daniel Jones can run. He's fast.
Yeah, and he's fast, and he's also big. He's bigger than people give him credit for. So, after you kind of determine that, now it's, okay, well, what's the dollar amount? What are you willing to pay this guy? And so what happened was, and I had to do some revision here because the last podcast I did, I made a few mistakes. And again, I have questions for you. I just want to clear this up. Yeah. I made a comment that Daniel Jones, with his previous agency, started negotiations with the Giants. That was not true. They had never started negotiations. Daniel Jones actually let CAA, his old agency, know he did not want them to stay as his agents. And they're the people that leaked the rumor about Daniel Jones wanting $45 million. Daniel Jones has not started talking to the Giants yet about a contract, but there was reports that came out that Daniel Jones wanted $45 million a year.
Interesting.
So, first of all, CAA sounds like a scumbag agency, and that's really sad that happened. Why Daniel Jones switched his representation, no one will ever know. Maybe if Daniel Jones writes a book 20 years from now or something, we'll know something. But I just wanted to clear that up. And the report about the $45 million is absolutely not accurate, and Daniel Jones has not asked for that. Now, will Daniel Jones ask for that? It's very possible. So I wanted to ask you, Matt, are you kind of familiar with, and it's okay if you're not, with what quarterbacks make for salary?
I really only know the big contracts.
Yeah, so for example, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Kyler Murray are the top three.
Yeah.
And they all make, Aaron Rodgers is going to make $60 million this year. Kyler is going to make 46, and Deshaun's going to make 50, I believe. Something like that. Crazy.
That's crazy.
You know how much Patrick Mahomes made?
It's not much.
36.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is going to make $60 million this year. Patrick Mahomes won't make $57 million until 2027. He's looking back at that deal he signed with the Chiefs being like, God damn it, they got me. But either way,
Aaron Rodgers, he's in his darkness retreat thinking about
he came out. He's out.
He's out. Did he see his shadow? Does that mean he's on the Raiders now or something?
I don't know. But the next question I have for you is, do you think Daniel Jones deserved to be paid as a top 10 quarterback?
I would say no.
No? Okay. Fair. So let's say Daniel Jones comes in and says, hey, I want to make $45 million, which is, he'd be, I think, probably the 8th highest paid quarterback, maybe the 7th. So for some examples here, Kirk Cousins makes 42, Dak Prescott made 40, and Daniel Jones wants to be higher paid than both those guys.
I'm just not so sure.
This was the false report, but this is now the question: is what do you pay Daniel Jones?
Right. I do just feel like it almost sounds weird to say, but I do feel like Kirk Cousins should be making more money than Daniel Jones.
I'm not going to argue with that. I think Daniel Jones has more upside. I think Daniel Jones looks better in the future, but Kirk Cousins has done a lot in the past and has had a lot of winning seasons for sure.
Right. And I just feel like, well, I guess, that's actually true. The upside to a quarterback is such a huge prospect.
And Matt,
that can't be taken lightly. And
no,
that's the
it's not.
Why I think I'm unsure. Because although I think Daniel Jones will come into next season looking good, I really hope Mac Jones does. But, I don't know. I don't know.
And that, they talk about this with contracts all the time. They say in contracts, when you go into negotiation, it's not what I've done for you, it's what you're going to do for me.
Right.
And so if you want to say, okay, well, has Kirk Cousins done more in the past? Yeah, absolutely. But can Daniel Jones look like a more exciting prospect in the next 5 years? I would say yes. I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but that's now the question is, what's the number you're going to pay Daniel Jones? And so you've said to me, if you were the Giants, okay, Daniel Jones is a higher priority to you than Saquon Barkley. So, like, you would let Saquon walk if the number doesn't tie out.
I hate to say it, but probably.
I mean, you're a Patriots fan. Don't they draft don't they draft a new 7th-round pick every year, and then they replace the old one every year?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. And I was just curious, where are the Giants draft pick
25th.
25th. I mean, you could if you be careful and you're smart, you can pick up a good running back in the 2nd round.
You can absolutely in the 3rd round, in the 4th round.
You can do a lot of great things if you just pick the right person. I mean, look at Purdy.
Yeah, but what people argue is Saquon is more than a running back. He's like a generational talent. He's a leader on the team. He's part of the offensive identity. It's not just the running back. He's not just a Damian Harrison. He's like a Tom Brady leader.
Has he really only had how many good years has he had? 2?
Just like Daniel Jones, 2. Both of them have had 2 good years. Both had a great rookie year, and then both had a good year last year. Great years last year.
Did DJ have a good rookie year?
Yeah, Daniel Jones was 3 touchdowns away from breaking the rookie quarterback record for touchdowns. I think that's the most touchdowns he's ever thrown in a season. I think it was 25. He only threw 15 last year, for example. Yeah. But he rushed for another 5 or 6. Maybe it was 7. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I agree with you. I guess I tried something different. I didn't make a script. I hate script writing. It upsets me. I get too lost in the weeds. It upsets me. I get too lost in the weeds, so I just didn't write one for this one. But just to go back, so if you're letting Saquon walk and you don't want to pay Daniel Jones top 10 money, now you have to remember another caveat.
You put me in this predicament. You knew what I was gonna say.
I because this is what every Giants fan, Matt. When you go on Twitter, when you watch all these TV shows, this is what they're all talking about.
Right. No, that makes sense.
But the thing is, let's say you pay Daniel Jones $45 million. Every year your cap goes up by 15%. So in 3 years, Daniel Jones is a bargain quarterback because 15% on top. And Matt, how much do you think Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, even Tua Tagovailoa, when these guys go in for contract extensions, they're going to ask for $50 million, $60 million.
I think those are a little bit more
better. Of course they're better. But yeah. Daniel Jones is going to look like a bargain deal. Let's say Daniel Jones is better than he was last year, and we're paying him $20 million less than Jalen Hurts is making in 3 years. Giants are going to look like heroes.
I mean, can the Giants? It's true. I mean, the Giants are going to be so happy. They're going to be like, "We got him," and Daniel Jones going to be like,
just like the Chiefs are with Mahomes right now.
Yeah. But can they just give him another 1-year deal?
They can. So what they can do is tag him, and so that's the franchise tag. So basically, what happens is from February this Tuesday, whatever day that was, the 20th. Yeah, the 20th. February 20th to March 7th, each team can use their franchise tag, and then on March 7th, free agency happens. And so what the Giants could do is they could do it with 1 of 2 players, Saquon or DJ, and they could say, "Hey, you can't hit free agency. We're giving you a 1-year contract." League average, fully guaranteed. Now, what's tough about that, and this is what's hard about rebuilding the Giants, and I know I've just been going on Giants crazy on you, is the Giants have $45 million in cap space. If you guarantee Daniel Jones $32.5 million of that right off the top, that's more than 65% of your cap is now gone. If they sign Jones to a long-term deal, on average, he'd be making probably $40 million, but this year he'd probably only make 20. Because then they have another 25, 30 to allocate to other players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So okay, we signed Daniel Jones to a 1-year deal, but Daniel Jones isn't going to take a 1-year deal from the Giants. He'll go, "No, tag me. I want $32 million guaranteed." He's not going to take any less than that.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
How do you like the predicament I'm in?
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's really no good outcome in a weird way to this. And, maybe the Giants just go, "Screw it. Let's just keep Barkley." But
well, that's the thing. If Daniel Jones comes in at too high a price, why not ride with Tyrod Taylor for a year and sign Saquon to a 2 or 3 year deal and give him They have to pay Tyrod this year. He's guaranteed $6 million. So why is Jimmy Garoppolo or Baker Mayfield a real upgrade from Tyrod Taylor?
That's. I mean,
how do you like these questions today?
Maybe Jimmy G,
if he stays healthy.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, but like I don't know about Baker anymore, and yeah, I don't know about Tyrod Taylor. Get Minshew.
I don't.
No,
I had to remember who he was with. I'm like, he's the backup. But so basically, to summarize this, because we don't have to go on this for too long, the Giants are in a really tough place right now. But the things I wanted to make clear from the last podcast was Daniel Jones did not ask for $45 million. His previous agency came out and created that report because I think they were pissed they got fired by him. And we're going to see what happens. The Giants have clearly made it very clear that they want Daniel Jones back next year over Saquon, but a lot of Giants players are frustrated with that. So I guess it's just a final note, Matt. Do you agree with the Giants wanting Saquon or wanting DJ over Saquon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would keep DJ over Saquon.
All right. Well, I think that was everything I had for this one. It was a short one, but I don't know if you had any final thoughts you wanted to add.
I just have one just as a Patriots fan because I keep seeing odd little things on social media. It keeps saying like top places Daniel Jones will land next year, and always within like 7 of them, the Patriots is in there. Why are people saying that?
I mean, I would argue Daniel Jones is better than Mac.
That's fair. But again, is it that big an upgrade if you
for the dollar amount they're gonna have to pay Daniel Jones?
Yeah, it's just bizarre. It's just really bizarre. I don't know. I keep seeing it, and I'm just like, that just seems impossible to me. You know what I saw that is actually really interesting is the Colts.
The Colts. Well, okay. Final thing here.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones says, "I want $45 million." The Giants say, "Go out and test the market, and then come back to us if someone offers it to you." And the thing is, there's enough teams that need... I'm going to name you teams in the NFL right now that could use a quarterback. These are the top teams first. The Panthers.
Yeah.
Saints. Buccaneers. Jets. Colts. Texans. You could argue the Cardinals. I know that new Cardinals coach really likes Kyler, but Kyler's 1 KD ratio away from not coming back.
Did you say the Raiders?
Raiders. That's 8 teams already Daniel Jones can go around to and say, how much are you going to give me? Now, does Daniel Jones
to the Raiders? That'd be wild.
That would be wild. But does Daniel Jones really want to switch coordinators again? He's had a different coordinator every year. Why would you not want to be in the same system? And why would Daniel Jones say, hey, tag me, give me the $32 million guaranteed, and then let me prove it, and then give me a bigger deal next year? Because if Daniel Jones has an even better year, then he's going to want more money.
No, totally. And if I were the Giants, I mean, look how good you guys did last season. Like, take that and try to just upgrade that. Don't try to do some crazy thing.
But if you overpay...
Keeping Daniel Jones is kind of important.
But if you overpay Daniel Jones, then how do you upgrade anything else?
I mean, isn't that where the draft comes in? Isn't that where you got to draft good?
You're so right, Matthew, and it's not even funny. And that's exactly why the Kansas City Chiefs are always competitive. That's why the 49ers are always competitive. And that's why any good team the Eagles are always competitive. Good drafting. That's why teams are competitive. So, yes. And then you pay your own guys, and you don't have to pick up overpriced free agents. And that's how you do it.
Yeah, you don't do what the Bucs do and make a big meme team for the Rams and just overpay everybody and then just burn and die.
Crazy. $58 million over the cap right now.
Yeah.
That's
whack.
Wild.
Just whack.
So in conclusion, Daniel Jones does not want $45 million a year. But Matthew, I appreciate you listening to this and giving your insight. Matthew's on the side of the DJ fans, as am I. I think the quarterback is just more important than the running back. Would I love to keep both? Of course I would. And if you can sign Daniel Jones to a good deal, you can absolutely bring both back. Again, you don't have to pay Daniel Jones his full average amount in the first year of his contract. He could make $37 a year, give him $15 this year, and keep Saquon, and then push Daniel Jones' contract out for 4 years. As the cap goes up, we can just keep paying him that percentage. That's how it works. Frustrating.
Drop the mic.
We're going to see what happens. I wanted to get this out. I hope you all enjoy. Shout out to Matthew. Next episode, which, hint, hint, we might film right now. So, but it'll be out in a few days. We're going to do who has a brighter future, the New York Giants or the New England Patriots. See you all in the next one. Matthew's links are down below. Matt, thanks for being here. I had to put this out. He became a subject to my needs. We'll see everyone soon. Peace.